sower, the seed, the kernel that fall into the ground, the seed that abideth alone, the seed that bring forth much fruit. And we see that in this word, which is not communicated in the English, is only viewed in the Hebraic text. Bereshit bara Elohim et. Now, this et is the spiritual and the physical. And now he made all things. And when he made all things, we say he spoke. Because in order to understand any type of language, you must have what? Song, communication. You must have dialogue. And dialogue only comes through a vocabulary, a language, some sort of some form of communication. And we know from theological story, they say that Yahweh created the world ex what? Nihilo. Out of nothing he brought everything into being. Out of nothing. So now out of nothing, not from himself, because if you bring it from himself, that is what they have, another theological rendering, ex Deo. Ex Deo meaning what? Out of God. But could anything come out of God? No, it can't come out of God. Nothing could come out of God. For anything to come out of God, it shows the limitation in.
And it goes back to what, your lessons from before, where you extend, how it's just supposed to. That's right. Transfer.
That's right. You extend. Now, I'm glad you bring up that. That speaks about the Zayin. The Zayin or the Yod, which is extend. Zayin is also an extension. Zayin is that which hunts, or that which goes forth, which is the fullness or the completeness of God's creation, which is 7, Zayin. And we see God is extending himself. Because you see now, God is one. So now in that oneness, what he is doing, in that oneness, this is how he is extending what we call this whole new creation. He is making a new creation. And in order for you to have anything new in this one person, there must be an element of what? Giving. Because without that element to give, you can't have anything. You can't have anything at all. So now, when we say God give, but what he is giving is communicable of his attribute, not of his necessary existence, not of his eternal being, not of his incommunicable attribute. He's only given that which he could communicate. And what is he given that is communicating all along? You see, the Holy Spirit, which is the he is the person in the Godhead, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He is the person that keeps giving the Father to the Son to the Father, and so on. Because we read in John 14, he said, it is expedient that I go, that when I go, I must send who? I will send the Father will send the Holy Spirit. So you see that the bet proceeded from the Father. And how we know the bet proceeded from the Father? Watch it. The Hebrew language is so beautiful. Watch it. Aleph, bet. Bet is the second letter of the Hebraic alphabet. The bet proceeded from the Father. The Son proceeded from the Father. And then who came? Then the Holy Spirit was sent by the Father. Who is the Holy Spirit? The Gamil. The Gamil is the Holy Spirit. And remember, we say now that these 3 letters is what we call the archetype of creation, that which creation now is dependent on for all things that exist. So Aleph Bet Gamil is what now needs to come into this creation in order to form this AHHAD. AHHAD, this oneness. When we say Elohim, Elohim is the forces, the four forces that which cause all things to come into existence. So we see the Aleph